Davies in the middle. Checks back against Carter and scores. That is atypical for the Amina Margot.
Quickly gets it back again. Oh, what a goal! Well, that sums up her season. The Gunners are WSL champions.
Award season at the Oscars or anything like that, but as it is the end of the season, we should really sort of give our opinions about this. So what I thought we'll just do a WSL game that doesn't feature Arsenal, and then an Arsenal player. So for example, the first one that I picked is the WSL game of the season. For me, outside of Arsenal, it was the Everton-Liverpool game at Anfield.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just atmosphere. First time it's a Merseyside derby being held for a long time, and it was great to be. The Everton fans always come out in their numbers, and they're fantastic at what they do. Honestly, they're one of the best supported clubs in the WSL for me, and they are quite close to my heart, as well as not for Horror's way of distance. And the fact that Gio was playing as well helped, and it was just one of those games that was brilliant. I could even bring up the 1-1 game at Goodison Park because those were really good games. So WSL game of the season for you.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
You can go first.
All right, I'll get first this one. I know exactly which one I'm going for because it was a game that had us on the edge of our seats right until the end, and a really, really good game of football. Two teams really going for it, and that's.
I swear, if you pick the one.
Man United 3.
Oh, that's good. You didn't pick my game. I was going to pick that, but I picked a different one.
Yeah, well,
I was going to pick that. I was going to get really annoyed with you. I just changed my mind. I've got a better one.
I probably guess which one you're going to go for. But it was. I've seen a lot of game of the season discussions, and in the discussions I've had with people, this game's never come up. And I thought this was a really good game. This is obviously two teams who are pushing themselves further than they've done last season. The two, I would say they're the two most improved teams this season, Aston Villa and Man United. And it was a game that could have gone either way. Daly was on fire. Man United kept coming back. I think Daly hit the woodwork. Paris scored. Was it? Do forgive me. Was it Galton who got the other goal? Was it the?
I think so. Yeah. Yes.
And then it went.
She's been on fire recently.
Galton. I mean, my word. It's a shame that she's announced that she doesn't wish to play for her country. But
for her, that's a personal choice. If it keeps her happy and keeps her playing, I get it.
Really, but for Man United, I mean, obviously Russo and Toon get the attention, but we have to say that Galton has been probably. I know Russo won Player of the Season, but Galton for me is a close second. So what she supplies on the wing has been brilliant, and it was a game that went all the way to the wire. And there's an element of smugness about this because Man United won a free kick with the last kick of the game right in the corner, and I tweeted, I just said, Zem's going to knock it in the box, and I think it was Turner. I think it's Millie Turner.
Was it you predicting the future again?
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't an injury related this time. And just as I pressed tweet, Zem whipped the ball in, and it was Turner off the bench who headed the ball in and sent the Man United fans wild. And it was honestly just from a neutral perspective, it was a brilliant game of football and a brilliant.
No, of course it was, but you and your predictions.
I know.
Imagine being a psychic; you could make so much money out of it.
Yeah,
he is psychic the way that things have gone this season, and people must think I want to throttle him, which I do, especially with the injury stuff. But you're unbelievable.
Put your bets on now. England aren't making it out the group stage of the World Cup. Now, yeah.
Oh dear, he's digging himself a hole.
I'm doing again. I'm flexing my power.
Right, if anybody wishes to apply for Adam's post next season, applications are open as of the end of this show.
But I think as an advert for the WSL, it was brilliant entertainment, and it cemented Man United's position as they can challenge for the league this season. And they did. They challenged the last day of the season. if it wasn't for Man United, Chelsea would have run away with it. So, fair play to them. It was a great game of football. And what I loved about Aston Villa is a lot of great games this season were Aston Villa related, because they're one of the few teams who thought, we're not going to sit back and do a low block. We're going to take the game to them. We got the quality. We got Darley, we got Hansen, we got Jordan, we got Rachel Daly. We've got a good goalkeeper of Hannah Hampton in goal. We can take the game to them. We know that if we play well, we can. And they had the season they had because of that. And that they didn't win this one, but they made it a proper game. And fair play. So go on, Lottie. I think I know what your one's going to be, but mine's
got to be the Aston Villa Liverpool game at Villa Park.
Oh,
3-3.
Really?
Yeah, it was a juicy game. We had 2 from Katie Stengel. Katie's, that's her first name. We had 1 from I forgot what Dowie's first name is.
Natasha.
Yeah, Natasha Dowie. 2 from Kirsty Hansen and 1 from Daly on the half time. Oh, beautiful. I just really enjoyed it. It was a decent game of football as a neutral. I really enjoyed it, and I think that was Liverpool's first time up at Villa Park as well, which was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times they've played on a men's size pitch, but they did so well as a neutral. I really enjoyed that game, although it was a draw.
This season, this would have been their second because of third actually, because of the Merseyside derbies, and then going to Villa Park. So, sorry.
Yeah.
There was one game that I mentioned, and I sort of avoided it because I thought everyone would, and that's the Man City 3, Villa 4 game, the opening game of the season. That was one I thought you were going to go for.
No. I just really enjoyed that game. It's one game that's stuck in my head, as well as the one that you mentioned, and I thought, no, I enjoyed the draw better than that, purely because it's me.
Fair enough. But
I wanted something different. You don't have to have a winning scoreline to enjoy a really good game.
No.
So I went for the draw.
I'm loving that some of these games. I mean, certainly the game you picked, Liverpool Villa, wasn't one of the top 4 teams.
No, exactly. I did think about the Manchester derby, but then I thought, no, I really didn't like Skinner's reaction, so I'm not even going to mention that.
But it's proof that you don't need to just stick with the top teams to get enjoyment of WSL. There is plenty.
Oh no, exactly. I even enjoyed Leicester's thrashing a few weeks back. That was great. I think was it 5-0?
4-0.
4-0. Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. Weird. Came out of nowhere. Mental.
It just goes to show really that we're seeing a league that's going to be a lot competitive unless you're not ready and willing to put more money in. We're not going to have that competitive.
Sorry,
honestly,
these comments we all know about. Sorry, Matt.
No,
sorry, Matt. I'm just going to interrupt you there.
Go on.
But as Adam said earlier, or yourself said earlier, there's these smaller teams that are pumping all their money into teams. We want a competitive league, and teams like City will get left behind, but it's also a case they could pump all this money in as well at the same time and then buy the league like they do the rest. But it doesn't look like that at that moment, because any trophy they win, I feel like City have actually earned it and not bought it, if that makes sense.
I think with City then, do you know how many titles the City women have won?
No, I meant silverware in general.
Oh, they've only won
actual titles.
Only won the league once.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that, but it's a case you look at those,
yeah.
You can openly admit they didn't buy it like the men's have.
Yeah,
that's my point.
They've had to buy their time to be able to build that infrastructure and everything.
Exactly,
very similar
they've
to
built it from the ground, and that's what you want to see from clubs. And that's why City don't irritate me as much as they do in the men's game. They have to buy everything, but they're actually working from the ground up, which is great.
The next category is the Arsenal game of the season. So I'm going to open this up even more. It doesn't have to be a.
You're making this harder, huh?
Ugh. Or.
Sorry, what was that?
We'll do WSL, and then we'll do cup competitions. And if you say the Conti Cup, and we will ban the Conti Cup final.
No, I know what game I'm choosing.
I know. I've got like 3 games from 3 different competitions. That's not fair.
Okay, we'll just do it. Right, Lottie, what's your WSL game? And then I'll choose my WSL game, and then you choose your.
It's got to be the one where me and you had a reset together, Tottenham, for WSL when we battered them at the Emirates.
4-0.
Yep. And then Champions League, the Lyon game.
Yeah.
Never forget that.
The away game, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's the semi-final, although we lost it. 120 minutes, screaming my head off for that team to win. We fluffed it in the last minute, but I couldn't be proud of them.
Oh, so you're choosing 2 Europe games?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, the cup games have been great. I can't choose the final. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to choose that.
I thought you might have chosen the semi-final because of so amazing it was to just be sitting in the North Bank in the freezing cold for 120 minutes.
Do you know what? It was great, but it was cold
and nervous. It was such a
and you also gave me a nosebleed that night, so you know.
I did give you a nosebleed. That is true.
Like we did celebrate a bit too much. Adam knocked my glasses off my face, so they were sitting halfway on my nose, and he crunched like giving me a big bear hug that he does. Crunched me in. I was walking around on the phone with someone. I had a gusher.
Make sure you've got an exclusion. When you're watching the game, make sure there's like an exclusion.
No, I need to wear an American football helmet around you. It's not safe.
My games of season are going to be controversial because they are but they are from a neutral perspective. And I'll put them above Arsenal. So my WSL game, I want to on a tangent. I want to say the funniest game of the season was going to Spurs and watching us win 5-1. I'm not saying it was the best game of the season.
Are you talking about taking over the stands though instead of the game?
There were more away fans and home fans at Leyton Orient's ground, and we outsang.
I've only ever seen about 9 Tottenham fans, to be fair. But they're massive. I've only ever seen about 9.
Yeah, and the reason we're at Leyton Orient's ground is because they put an NFL game on at the men's team ground because, of course, that takes the highest priority. So watching us win 5-1 with Steiner screamers, Martin screeners, Ford with a beautiful colour, Ford with a tap-in, Little with a penalty, just battering them in their own backyard, absolutely hilarious. But that's not my game of the season. My WSL game of the season with Arsenal is when we lost at home.
Oh, we've lost him again.
Is he going to say the Manchester United game?
I swear if he does, I'm going to be very disappointed. Do you know what? Another one of my favourite games. It's not so much about the scoreline. It's when we played Chelsea at the Emirates. I was irritating Emma Hayes, and I had such a laugh. And you know I did. I was sitting behind you, and me and Melissa were having so much fun. Every time we told her to get back in the box, she stepped back in the box. But we left Jonas alone.
You are back, Adam.
Excellent. Matt's right. I'm going Arsenal 2, Manchester United 3 at Emirates Stadium. It was a painful game. It was a sad game. It was a gut-wrenching game. But as a game in its own right was amazing. It swung from left to right. You thought Man United ran the first half. We came back. A brilliant volley from Laura Veen-Reuter, her first proper goal for Arsenal. Brilliant technique. But Manchester United announced themselves as title contenders that night when they got 2 late goals, with obviously the winner coming from the person who always scores against us in Man United contests, which is Lessa Russo. And for me, it was, an advert for the WSL that a team can come to. It's one thing to go to the away ground of, let's say, I don't know, the Bescott Stadium or LSV or Prenton Park, but to go to the main stand, the Emirates. And I know Everton won 3-0 at Anfield, but the level is obviously slightly different. But going to the Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal at the time were top or near top of the league, and putting a performance where they outplayed them in the first half and came back with minutes to go to win the game, just brilliant entertainment and a brilliant exhibition of the WSL. So that was my Arsenal game of the season in the WSL. Although honourable shout out to when we beat Man City 2-1 at home. My European game of the season. If Lottie's having 2, I'm having 2. But one of them was going to be obviously reasons the Wolfsburg game at home, just the sellout crowd, the atmosphere. I know it's another game we lost, but I think we lost with our heads held high. I thought we gave a team which is used to just flying through to Champions League finals, who get there most seasons, and we clung on to them. Like a young child clinging onto its parents' legs and refusing to let go and refusing to let them just simply run to the final. We held them back again and again and again. We 2-0, it became 2-2, 1-0, back to 2-1, over to 2-2. We just, even though we had players falling over with ACLs and quad issues, and we're playing Jen Beattie up front as a striker because there's nobody left. And we just somehow stayed in the game. And every single one of those 60,000 plus fans who came along, they weren't silent. They cheered, they shouted, they booed the VAR officials. They cheered when we scored. They roared when we were back down to 3-2 and the game was effectively up, but they wouldn't let it go. And they applauded the team off at the end. And it was just a brilliant sort of window into the future of, if we keep this momentum going, if we don't steer ourselves away from the path, if we keep progressing as we are, this could be us in the WSL in 2, 3, 4 years' time. If we keep the crowds coming in, because I'm pretty sure the 60,000 that turned up on that day enjoyed, whilst they were gutted, they were invested and they enjoyed it, and I'm sure they'll come back. So that's my pick for a European game. FA Cup, I mean, we didn't really, apart from Leeds, didn't really do much. And then, Conti Cup, it's got to be the that one. Also, the other one, a European game, Bayern at home. That was amazing. Lots of minor screener. Can't complain about that. All right, sorry, I'll get off your time. Next thing.
So I'll just be quick with my one. It'll be, I'll go with, I don't know what I was going on. What the hell was that?
Memory.
No, just something went. I don't know if it was me or someone else. Anyway,
I might have just been recording.
Trying to get on my WSL game of the season. I'm actually going to go with Arsenal, Leicester. That was a really good game for me. I really enjoy going up to Leicester. That win.
I was going to say it's at home or away, because the home game was great. I got to celebrate with freedom right in front of me. It was great. And she scored a worldie. I was there to witness it.
First start that we saw of Michelle Ackerman after, unfortunately, and Hurtig came off. But it was a really good day. It was the start of something I'm going to honourably mention, the game against Liverpool, because Leah Volti scored her first WSL goal for a long time.
Do you know what? I knew you were going to say that. I was sitting there listening to Adam. I was sitting there like, Matt's going to mention that game. It has to be. Number one Leah Volti fan in the room.
Absolutely.
If I had to pick the cup games, I would probably say in the Champions League, the game against Bayern Munich where we lost 1-0. I really enjoyed that game. It was such a close game that we weren't expected to get anything. It was just go out there, see if we can get it as close as possible. If we can get a goal, great. I mean, the fact that the ball was nearly off the line, we had the VAR, the goal. It was just amazing. Even when we got back to that game and we ended up winning it 2-0 at home. In the cups, I'm going to also mention the Leeds game. Just because there was a lot of going on, a lot of new goals, and Michelle Agman and Victoria and everyone was scoring, and it was great to see that, and we got a little bit of more content creation out of it as well. Goal of the campaign.
Is that Arsenal or non-Arsenal or both?
We'll do both.
Okay, Arsenal goal of the season is pretty easy for me. It's Katie McCabe versus Man City. The goal that got us into the Champions League, and I was sat in the East Stand, and I was in line with the strikers. McCabe came out from the short corner, and I could just see the ball curve in the air, and I'm thinking it's an in-swinging cross, and then you see it's not an in-swinging cross because it's too close to the far post, and you see Roebuck's dive, but she's not going to get there, and then you see it go into the top corner, and McCabe running over to us because I'm right behind the dugout. Arms wide, joy in her face, the bench piling on top of her, because that was the game itself was a nightmare. It was stressful. They went ahead. We managed to from nowhere claw it back, and then Katie pulls a worldie out of her pocket, and that was the crucial difference in us getting Champions League football. If we'd lost that, it'd be Man City who'd be off, and we'd be staying at home potentially. So we
wouldn't have that. We wouldn't have them 60,063, including us three.
Yes.
At that game.
That's
so
why
I think that's record breaking.
What's your Arsenal?
But they're not free, Carla Ward, be warned. They weren't free.
No.
What was your WSL then, Adam?
Oh, the WSL goal. I'm gonna go for the opening day volley in the Villa Man City game. I think was that yours? Okay, that's fine. I won't take that one then. I'll try and think of another.
That was mine.
No, okay, I've got another one then. I have one other one then. It's fair enough. I'm going to go for in the derby, the Man United opener. In the opening seconds, when Man United stormed out the blocks and they pinged one in the top corner against Roebuck, just out of nowhere, and just suddenly thought, "Wow, we're up and running here." I mean, I could go for the Man City equaliser, but that was clearly a cross. That was a fluke, and Irving misjudged it. But that was that rocket. I mean, that again, another crucial goal that got us Champions League football that season. But yeah, Lottie, I think, was it the Rachel Daly goal? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you talk about that one.
Yeah, no, as Adam's already announced it, it's just like if you've been watching Aston Villa, you've been watching Rachel Daly, you know what that goal looks like, and it was chef kiss.
Absolutely
beautiful. And it was really exciting because obviously it's like early in the season, first time we get to see her as a striker, not a fullback, and it was just absolutely lovely. I mean, at the time I had some spare time between the Euros and start season, so I actually did find some YouTube compilations of her at Houston Dash, and I was like, I hope we get this version of Rachel Daly. This is the version I want to see at Aston Villa. I want to see playing for England as well. So, for me,
I think I can guess Matt's goal.
I got to do my Arsenal goal first.
Arsenal goal. Oh, sorry, I thought you.
Yes, my Arsenal goal. My Arsenal goal for me personally is it's got to be Frida Marnham against Bayern Munich at the Emirates.
Yes.
At the Emirates, it's just the way it curves, and what she's done is slow motion. Their keeper looks around, and the ball's just going around her, and it just hits the back of the net. And to be there and witness that all the way from block 7. Chef kiss.
Shout out to Leah Williamson's back heel in the move to set it up.
Yes, there is that as well.
That back heel is just and then after Matt said that game in Munich where we tried everything, he didn't score, and you're thinking, how are we going to score? And then Liotson Morton just pulls that out again out of her pocket, and it's like, right, we're off now, the game's on, and it just and it was amazing.
No, I think also a really quick another category. Sorry, Matt. Our Worldies of the season trophy does go to Frida Marnham. Sorry, Katie, but she's had 5. You've had 2. She's pinched your boots.
Yeah.
I did say that Katie's banger was coming, and it came at the most important part of the season.
The most crucial time. You did call that.
I think
that is the best prediction out of all of your predictions between the pair of you. That is the best one because nobody got hurt.
Apart from Man City's pride, I think I know what your WSL goal is going to be, Matt.
You think it's going to be Leah Voltier, isn't it?
No,
WSL. I think you're going to be surprised by this. I'm going to go with Chloe Kelly's goal against West Ham.
Oh, I thought you were going to go.
That was a nice one.
I
didn't think you were going to go for that because you've mentioned it once already.
I think this was a little bit of luck, but she's just seen the goalkeepers out, so she's hit it. And the goalkeeper stumbled, tripped over herself, and the ball's just nestled right to the bottom corner.
Just the early goal, and it was like 6-2 in the end.
Yes.
Yes, I remember the one you mean. That was a quality goal. Yeah.
I just thought I'd mention that. For Arsenal, goal of the season, I can't have Leah Volti having another award, unfortunately, as much as it would... as much as I'd love to give her as many awards, so I don't think she'd be able to carry them. It's difficult, but I think I'm going to have to go with... I'm putting myself on the spot now. Stina's goal against Wolfsburg.
That's a good shout.
Collision and the fact that it was just very smart play, and the fact she just went, okay, you two are just not going to do anything, and she just sort of let them bump into each other, and she's free goal.
I thought you were going to go for the team goal tap-in the first leg.
Oh, the team goal tap-in, that was amazing as well.
Yeah.
But
that's a
for
close
WSL,
second out of Stina's goal for me. Close second out of all the goals she scored this season.
I quite like the one where she caught the keeper out against Spurs.
Yes.
Again, just ran through and said, like, why is the keeper away from a goal? I'll just knock it in the net.
Okay, next category, Matt. Come on, hit us again. What else have you got for us?
Arsenal WSL. I'm just trying to think of one.
Okay, I've got one for you guys. I've got one.
Yeah.
This season's WSL and Arsenal unsung hero. I'm going to go for Lotte Wubben-Moy from Arsenal.
Yeah.
And from WSL, I'm going to go for Hansen at Villa. Mm-hmm. She has been superb. Mm-hmm. And she's not had a lot of the praise because obviously Daly's got the golden boot. Kenza Dali doing what she does best. Jordan Nobbs in and out of injury, but Hansen is the one for me. What about you, Matt?
Gabby George, for me, she was fantastic. And not oddly enough, I should have chosen her goal against Liverpool. Unfortunately, I didn't see that because I was trying to go out for burger. But that's anyway.
You did see the replays, didn't you?
I did see the replay, yes.
Yeah.
But Gabby George, for me, I think, had she not gotten that injury, she would have been on that plane, definitely in that 23, because she deserved it, and she's scored goals at vital times. She's almost like, if you wanted, like,
do you feel like she is that game changer over Everton?
And you'd have Gabby George on the left, and it's perfect balance, as all things should be, as a purple dude once said.
Thanos. Yeah.
Lottie's laughing in the background. I tried to think of other ones, and I thought this is going to take too long, so I'll just ask for your young player.
I know it. Go jump ahead and not have my content.
I'll just do one more. Young player. Young player and say.
Matt, you've skipped Adam. We need these unsung heroes.
Go on, Adam.
Right. Okay. So my unsung heroes. So my non-Arsenal one is Hasegawa from Man City. Yeah, because when Kira Walsh was moved on, Man City looked very suspect, and so they brought her in, and she was immense. And if you watched her against Arsenal in Meadow Park, she was amazing in the midfield, and it took Arsenal a while to work out how to sort of get around her. But no, Hasegawa for Man City. Arsenal related, obviously Lotta's a good shout because she came for the injuries. I'm gonna go for Palova though. I think I'm going to go for Palova.
She would have been my other choice.
Yeah.
She's grown so much the second half of this season. I've loved every minute of it.
I know.
And she's been taking lessons off Leah Williamson.
I know there's some doubts around her when she came in, and it took a while for her to get going. But then I think when you watched her in this away game at Spurs, and you can watch the game back, and she just kicks up another notch. You watch her in the forward second goal, the way she wins the ball, fights the ball, gets the ball in, and then takes that into the Munich game and takes the other games, and the energy and the drive. And I'm really excited to see what she's going to be next season. So we've only been given a taste of what she's like. So one to watch next season. But she's my Arsenal unsung hero this time around.
So I haven't done my unsung hero, so I'll just go for Arsenal. I actually thought Steph Catley.
Yeah.
She's been brilliant all season. The fact that she had to be versatile centre back.
Yeah.
Young player. And she has to be under 21. I'm not having the fact that Lauren Hemp or
well, that's not helpful.
Chloe
I don't
Kelly
keep
usually
track of
wins.
how old players are. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. But I am going to just throw this out there. I am going to go choose Palova. I don't keep track of their ages. I'm assuming Palova can be counted, right?
I believe Palova is 23.
Oh dear.
Hold on, I will double check. So you got your Arsenal one.
Yeah. If not, I'm gonna take the vote on Anna Patton. So I know she's under 21, isn't she? At the moment.
She is.
21.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
so
my Arsenal one is Michelle Adjumang because she's broken into the first team.
Yeah.
What a goal! And we can't wait to see what. Yeah, she did great stuff with her country during the. Under 17 Euros, or whether it was under 21 Euros, whether it was, I think it was, and then under 17 Euros, I think it was. So we look forward to seeing more of her. Beyond that, I'm afraid our W7 knowledge does not stretch that far, Matt. So Arsenal players only, I'm afraid, in our one. So if you've got an Arsenal, maybe an Everton player who deserves a shout, is Jess Park young enough to be under 21?
Jess Park is. She did have a really good season. There's so many players that I could probably add to this list. Funny enough, Missy Bo-Kearns would probably surprise a lot of you because of supposedly my agenda against her. She's had a fair enough good season.
Yeah.
I'll give that to her.
Can I just say I've never said that. I'm not a fan of her. I didn't like how she played at Meadow Park.
For the list, thinks I've got an agenda against certain players.
I would say you weren't exactly complimentary of her performance with no substance behind the allegations. So
it's going to take. I have a feeling she's going to be better next season. But she Missy Bo-Kearns, okay, she's had a good season.
Let's see the criticisms for another podcast.
But I think if I had to pick a player to come in and have no games under your belt at Man City and to go to a team that's so badly needed to sort out their defence, Ruby Mace, stand up.
At Leicester City, yes.
And she did such a good job. And it's almost like Man City don't know what they've got until it's gone. And I have a feeling that Ruby Mace will be leaving Man City at the end in the transfer window. She's too good to not be playing in the WSL, and I'm sure lots of teams will be out for her.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye for that one.
So just last one.
I've got one more.
Oh,
Can I just throw in a category? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Right, this is WSL.
Yeah.
You can pick an Arsenal player or whoever.
Yeah.
One player that has been a game changer throughout this season, injured or not. I'm going with Pernille Harder from Chelsea, especially in that final against Man United. She was that game changer. So, one player only. I'm going to let Adam go first.
Yeah, I'm going to go Katie Zelem because her set pieces changed. Lottie's face.
You know what? I've been waiting.
I was not expecting that.
Time.
Okay.
You know what?
I did it purely for Lottie's face. Just the eyes, but like I would. Okay.
Just for our audio listeners, my eyes just pop out my head.
I wanted to say like Katie Zelem because her two set pieces, won that game at thingy, obviously. But I was mainly for the jokes because Lottie's face did light up like a Christmas tree. It was very funny.
I was mortified. I was actually really surprised, but mortified. But yeah, okay.
But
fair enough. That's your choice. No judgments.
I can't do that. I felt I wanted to say sort of trying to think, a game-changing player or game-changing moment.
Player throughout the season. It could be in any game, anything. Like mine was.
I would go. Crikey. No, I'm afraid I'm on Katie Zelem. I'm afraid I really am on Katie Zelem. That's the only thing I can't shift it. So Matt, onto you. If I think of something better, I will. But that's going to stick for now.
That's it. It's your final answer.
Yeah.
The answer's locked in. That's it.
I've been really impressed with Anna Passon actually at Aston Villa, and the fact that she has developed and improved so much with her heading ability, and she's very much becoming a Leah Williamson, Rafaela-esque player, which is kind of one of the reasons why I'm hoping that she stays. The last category I have, because of the list has gone on too long, save of the season. For me, this is Hammerhampton against Liverpool, where I believe it was Missy Bocones. I might be wrong, but she's tried to lob Hannah Hampton, and Hammerhampton's just literally sprinted all the way back towards the line, and she's just very volleyball-esque, just put a hand to it and gone no, and it was just a great save for me.
I've got a few, but I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if it was a save or not. There was a moment when we went to West Ham. I think McCabe had a blast from range, and I think it was Arnold. It was late in the game, and Arnold managed to tip it round the post, and it sort of kept a 0-0 for them. I think that was one. If it's not, the only one I can think of is when our home game against Man City when we were winning 2-1, and Sabrina was in goal, and she made a brilliant tip over late on for when Man City were looking to get a quick equaliser. And again, another sort of crucial moment that's got us to 3 points. But that's my save season.
I believe Lottie, you're up next.
For me, it's got to be Sabrina. I know she didn't do much throughout the semi-final, but there was one or two saves in there that were really, really good. It's the first time we got to see her. I can't narrow it down to one, but that particular game, definitely that one. Because obviously we had the likes of the triple threat up top from City, so she did really well to keep Bunny Shaw out. I think there was a header in the North Bank. That's the one that I'm thinking of. Is that right, Adam? She had it was a crossing from Chloe Kelly just after Chloe Kelly kicked the corner flag. She assaulted it, and then it kind of came to Bunny Shaw, and Sabrina just netted it over.
I know the one I'm thinking of now. The 1-1 draw with Chelsea. Catley has a cross that's looping towards the top corner, and Musovic tips it onto the crossbar. That's one of those saves that like was
Yeah.
crucial in the title race, and that
Yeah.
was the season.
Oh,
was
do you know
the
what? You
corner
just
as well,
remind
wasn't
me of another goal of the season, Steph Catley corner.
Yeah, the direct one from Leicester. I did wonder why no one had gone for her goal from a
I
corner.
forgot about that because Bukayo Saka replicated it within a few hours. It's mental.
So I think then we're fair to say this segment's gone on for too long, but I'm going to say this now. 3 words to describe the season. Adam.
It's all over.
Lottie.
Bittersweet memories.
Mm.
And I'm glad it's gone. I never want to see this season again.
That's it.
We survived it.
That's
I've actually got some T-shirts being made for us. We survived the season of 22-23.
Thank you, Lottie. That's what I needed. Sorry, glad it's over. That's my 3 words. Glad it's over. That's the thing.
I would say unpredictable, challenging, but brilliant. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of perhaps one of our longest podcasts. I do apologise. We've tried to cut it as short as possible. But that is all from us on the WSL this season. We will be back. We will probably keep up to date with everyone, letting everyone know what's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. But we will be back over for the World Cup. But just before we go, everyone's socials. So mine is at MattLR28. Adam, where can people find you?
You can find me at AdamSalter4.
And Lottie?
You can find me at Lottie_AWFC. We will try and be back with all the latest transfer news and gossip at least once a week while we're out of season, I should say. But we will be back with a brand new series for the World Cup, and we will have an extra special host joining us and hopefully running some of our pods just for the World Cup. Very excited. She's a very close friend of mine, and she has been on here before. But I'm not going to tell you who it is because I want you guys to come back. But if you haven't already, do please smash the like button. Send us your comments of what you thought of with your teams from Matt's game. I'd be really interested to hear what your 5-side would be and who your nominees for our categories would be for our awards show. But yeah, we will be back very soon. I hope everybody has an absolute good 6 weeks of rest before we go again through the madness for England, and we can all support all the same players from different clubs. So, but yeah, until then, enjoy your summer, and let's just pray for a decent transfer window.
Absolutely. Take care.
Enjoy your rests. Cheerio.